So would you say that, I mean, clearly there's sort of a developing a sort of a political consciousness amongst, young lords at this period, doing lots of community organizing. Um, but from what I know, from what I've read, it seems that also there's ultimately they were sort of advocating for around sort of broader ideas of revolutionary politics. Would that be a fair way
No, no,
to name what
sure.
you were advocating?
Well, I mean, we're learning from the Panthers. We're reading about Malcolm X. We're studying Che Guevara. This is so we're having our political education classes in our living rooms and on the street corner. So I mean, we're meeting in the living rooms because we're all kind of living together. Uh, we had an apartment. Well, basically, I had my house was we weren't paying any rent, so we started. It became like a what do you call it, a crash pad, and so we're studying there at the crash pad, and then we're going to the corner and talking to the rest of the people on the corner and just drinking, doing everything that we did all the time, drinking, smoking weed, whatever, but talking politics. Uh, and so, because versus the Panthers, well, the Panthers, they kind of organized first. Most of the chapters organized first, and then came out. They were kind of underground 1st, but we were still in the corner. I mean,
Right.
so we're not. So that was the kind of little difference there. But I mean, it still worked it out because we're emulating the Panthers. So I mean, that's the same thing.
Right.
So we're reading, the Red Book and all this stuff. It was a time also it was that era, where people were studying those Franz Fanon and stuff like that. And so, we're relating to the Panthers because they're talking about the lumpen proletariat and we're the lumpen proletariat. Uh, so we're learning that, and then Lincoln Park was where you had like 20 different groups there. All of them had a different tabloid and that, and they're putting us in their tabloids. So we're reading about each other, and that's helping us. So the media helped us at that time too. But the fact that we were a group there, like grassroots, the big gang of the neighborhood, and we were transforming ourselves, and so we became the center for the other tabloids. They looked up to us, and when we took over the church, the People's Church, that became the center of the community, and so everybody was allowed in that church that was progressive. I mean, they came there. Even the police came there. They had a car parked in front 24 hours a day. The Red Squad taking photos of everybody going into church, and that's. So we did things that were not. We didn't kind of political, but not. So a few of us were more advanced than the others politically. What I'm saying, I don't know if the advanced is the right word. It means that our level of consciousness was different. So a few of us, and we were the leaders. So we kind of directed the rest of the group where they were kind of followers, but they came in later as we had more PE classes, political education classes, and the programs really helped us a lot. So when we set up the free daycare center and then the free clinic, free books for children program in the church, then that gave them a way to get involved and to learn. And even the kids were learning because they're coming and eating breakfast and singing "Que Bonita Bandera," songs about Puerto Rico, the Puerto Rican flag, and that. And so we connected. Other people that were involved at that time, other progressive people came to us, and so they're helping teach us. People from the Nationalist Party in Puerto Rico came to us, and we marched in the Puerto Rican parade in their uniform to show them support that we were with them. I remember doing a show about the Masacre de Ponce, the Ponce Massacre. Where we were part of that, and I went to Puerto Rico with one of the nationalists took me to Puerto Rico to see that Abiso Campos's gravesite in that, and we marched in the Grito de Lares there, in Puerto Rico and that. So that all those things we went with Jorge Gonzalez to Denver, Colorado. We took a busload a school bus, load of members and other carloads of members to Denver, Colorado. Uh, so there we met the brown berets, the black berets. We had heard about them, but we met them personally there. And then that's when we spread and went to Oakland. In fact, we went to Oakland before we knew Fred Hampton in Chicago. And a lot of people are confused about that. They think, Fred Hampton, I was in jail with Fred Hampton because they're saying that they trained us. And we're saying, no, we were in jail together because we were already following Oakland. And then they came out and we found out that they were there. I met Fred Hampton the day after we went to the Chicago Avenue Police Station, where we took, carloads of people to the police station because they were saying they were having a police community workshop meeting, and they were telling the senior citizens that we were there to harass them and that they were going to protect the senior citizens from us. We found out later because he was indicted. Commander Brash, Clarence Brash, was indicted because they were doing it. They were extorting the businesses. They were asking extra money from the businesses, asking them to buy little stickers to put on the window because they were going to protect them against the young lords. We found that out later. He definitely got indicted and went to jail, for that later, even though he's the one that did all the arrests on us, I was arrested 18 times in a 6-week period, all felonies, by Edward Hanrahan. He gave me the felony. He's the same person that killed Fred Hampton. So we were part of part of that connection. So Fred Hampton came to us the day after we took over the police community workshop meeting. It came out on the front page because we closed we went up, with the bus loads and that and car loads. We went into the police station and the meeting was upstairs, and then we put our berets on upstairs. So once we put the berets on, we planned to close the doors, and we took over the meeting and told the seniors, you don't have to be afraid of us. In fact, we want you to come to the People's Church. You're invited, you're our guests. And we made the point that they did not have to fear us. We were there to serve them. And then after that, we walked out, and nobody got arrested. But the media was there, they publicized it. The next day, Fred Hampton showed up in the neighborhood to Dayton and Armitage to the corner. And they got me. I was in one of the apartments, because we had apartments in the whole block. And they said, Fred Hampton there from the Panthers. I said, the Panthers, I had just come back from Oakland. So I said, the Panthers, yeah, that's our brothers,
Right.
So we went there, and then later on, after a couple meetings, they said they were working with the Young Patriots, and that they wanted to form a Rainbow Coalition, and then we formed a Rainbow Coalition at the time. Myself, William Preacherman, and Fred Hampton. We formed a Rainbow Coalition, and we were the leaders, representatives of each group at that time. And the good thing about that is that it was a real association, a loose federation, and it was a coalition. It was no one was above nobody else. That Fred Hampton was a leader like that he was able to respect each community and not try to dominate. Because some people came later and they wanted to dominate. Where you're under us, and we always looked at the Black Panther Party as the vanguard, but they never dominated us. That we were always separate, which gave us more democracy and more freedom to organize our community. That was what Fred Hampton was saying. Chairman Fred Hampton was saying, you organize in the Latino community, the Young Patriots in the poor white community, and we will organize in the African American community. And then we come together, and Native Americans organize in their community, and we come together. And that's what the Rainbow Coalition was all about, and that's the beauty in that. So it was a matter of the different nationalities being proud of who they were.
Sure.
Using nationalism as a stage to working class democracy. Basically that's the way we looked at it. So it was a way to recruit people because they were automatically interested in their own communities. So it was a way to bring them in, but it was clear that it was a class struggle from the very beginning.